Wow. For 3 days and one morning, we have seen no world records broken at the World Aquatic Championships. I like world records. I'm a swim fan. I like seeing fast swimming. I like seeing what humans are possible to do in a swimming pool. And then Léon Marchand showed up for his first evening swim in the 200 IM after a very conservative morning and blew my mind. Blew it. Completely blew my mind. I've not seen dominance over a world record like that since 2009. I've not seen dominance over such a legendary world record. This is not the case where we're seeing a world record broken regularly by one swimmer. They're getting better and better. This is someone who's raced this event at the biggest meets multiple times and come up short, most notably at the Olympics last year where he missed it by 0.1. This is a world record from one of the greatest swimmers of all time. I'm talking about the 200 IM, the men's 200 IM. Ryan Lochte, one of the all-time greats in the sport, a complete legend. Someone, if Michael Phelps didn't exist, would probably be the equivalent of the sport's Michael Phelps, an individual Olympic champion. And 2011 was widely regarded as Ryan Lochte's best meet ever. It was a meet when most swimmers were struggling without the suits, and Lochte won everything. The 2 IM, the 2 back, the 2 free. It's the only time someone has gone 152 for 2 back in a jammer, and of course he broke Michael Phelps' 2 IM world record in a 154.00 and beat Michael himself. Léon Marchand couldn't break that world record last year and said a lot of times in interviews this year he wants to break world records. He doesn't just want to win races, he wants to break world records. He said he was dropping the 2 breast and the 2 fly from the lineup so he could focus on this 2 IM world record. He backed up all of his talk. I'm someone who feels like we've not seen the fastest swimmers of some of the best swimmers in history. I feel like if Michael Phelps had just done a taper 2 fly without the 4 IM and the relays and everything, maybe he would still have the world record. Maybe he could have done a 141 for 200 freestyle. But some of the best versatile swimmers in history have swum so many races over the course of these meets. And these meets are tiring. I've done these meets as a coach. And come day 6, the way to the pool, your body just feels knackered. And I'm just on poolside. I'm not even getting in and swimming. I'm not even doing any exercise, let alone getting up for heats and finals and medal ceremonies and warm-ups and swim downs. You're swimming thousands of meters a day. You're tired. And here Léon has come into the 200 IM for the first time in his life, completely fresh. He had a nice relaxed swim this morning, 157. And then, I don't know if I've said his time, 152. 152.6. 1.31 off the world record. The best backstroke I've ever seen in a 2 IM, 28.4, 0.6 faster than he was at the Olympics last year. He almost went out as fast as Shane Cass's 24.1. He dominated the breaststroke with a 32.1, then come back in this ridiculous 28.0. It was just a mind-blowing swim. Léon Marchand, you are going down in history as one of the best ever. And if you keep going like this, maybe people will actually see your name in the same light or even higher lights than Michael Phelps, because that was, I really am blown away. Like, to have no world records and then to have that one, like, he didn't just sneak under it. He still got the final to come. He claimed the world record. He got up on the lane rope, and it was like an 09 Michael Phelps, deadpan, no smile, just like a dead stare, almost a little bit of anger in his eyes. I don't want to put emotions into people, but it was like, wow. Anyway, on this video, I'm going to recap all of day 4 finals. We're going to go one event at a time. And before we do just that, I do just want to say I have some great discounts on my website right now. I've just dropped the middle distance plan to celebrate that. The middle distance plan is now £52.69. So go to my website, link in the description and in the comments to save on that. And I'm also giving the Raw Speed membership for the first month at half price, which is just £23.50. So if you're a swimmer out there who wants to get faster at 50 events, give that a go. Without further ado, let's get into these races. I've just looked back at all the races and the results from tonight, and it was such a good night, so fast. We started off with the men's 800 freestyle. Unfortunately, Sam Short had to pull out. He's come down with some food poisoning, which put another Australian, Benjamin Goodmans, into the final. Dan Whiffen, the defending Olympic and world champion, tried to take it out fast, but he's been suffering with, he suffered with appendicitis, which affected his training. He couldn't hold on. He ended up finishing in 8th. And after about the 350-meter mark, Ahmed Jayoudi took the lead from a fast-starting Lucas Martins and held the lead, extended the lead all the way, and he became the third fastest performer of all time in a crazy time of 7:36.88. He ended up winning by 3 seconds over Sven Schwartz of Germany and Lucas Martins of Germany. Germany got another 2 medals. Germany having a great meet. And Bobby Fink, the world record holder in the 1500, ended up coming 4th. A crazy stat about the men's 800 freestyle is now that Tunisia have the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th fastest 800 freestylers of all time. Malouli is 2nd, Jaoudi is 3rd, and Hafnaoui is 4th. And the crazy thing is, in the post-race interview, Jaoudi not only said he'd done that for Hafnaoui, who's serving a suspension for missing 3 drugs tests, but he also said he had a big break after Budapest, struggled with a little bit of depression, and only got back in the water in March. It was enough time. He won the World Championships in a massive PB. We then went straight into the women's 2-3 final, which was another close one. Molly O'Callaghan ended up using a ridiculously fast finish to win it in a 1:53.4, and Bingji Lee, just like in the 400, went from 4th to 2nd in the final 50 to go 1:54.5 to finish 2nd. Claire Weinstein come 3rd in another small PB. Great bounce back from pulling out the 400 on day 1 with illness. And Freya Colbert and Barbara Seamanova come 4th and 5th. The times were 1:53.4, 1:54.5, and 1:54.6 on the podium. We then went into the first bit of craziness of the night, and that was the men's 100 freestyle semis. We watched the first semis, and there's been a lot of semifinals like this at this meet, where one of the semis is much slower than the other one. And I watched the first semi where Kyle Chalmers won in 47.3, ahead of Pan Zhanle, who was 47.8, 3rd in his semi, and Nandor Nema 47.7. And I said, I don't think 47.81 makes it back, especially when I watched the next semi-final walkout, and I named 7 of them, everyone but Joshua Salcho, to make the final. And that's exactly what happened. We had 7 finalists from the second semi-final, and that meant that the Olympic champion, the world champion, and the world record holder, Pan Zhanle, is out of the final tomorrow night. He has missed the final. He will not be swimming. He come 10th in 47.8. It took 47.64, which was 7th in the second semi, but 8th overall. And yeah. But then let's talk about the guys who swam ridiculously fast, because we had 2 46s in the second semi. Jack Alexey held on to his lead over David Popovich. They both went 46. 46.81 for an American record by Jack Alexey. First into the final, beating Dressel's American record from 2019. Popovich was 46.8, and Igor Kornev of Russia had a new PB of 47.29 in 3rd. He started really fast. He was the first to 50 in 22.3. We then had the women's backstroke, and after Lauren Cox barely made the semi-final, she had a swim off for 16th spot this morning. She dominated the first semi-final to be 2nd into the final with a 27.26, just ahead of Burkhoff, who's 3rd, and 27.23. Regan Smith will be in lane 4 tomorrow night. And with no Kaylee McEwen in this final or semi-final, she pulled out the event completely, weirdly. Maybe Regan Smith can win. But I think this could be a good opportunity for Lauren Cox and GB to get their first individual medal and maybe even a title at this World Championships. The cutoff was 27.57 to make the final, and unfortunately Nastia Gorbenko just missed out in 10th with a 27.6. Then we had the men's 2 fly final, another absolute masterclass, and it was Luca Orlando's moment 10 years in the making. This is a swimmer with extreme talent, a great junior, a great swimmer, but unfortunately has had on and off shoulder problems all the way through his career that has meant he's missed teams, missed years of racing, and this was his moment. He's had a great year, and he went out hard. But it was really the middle 100 where he just excelled. He was 56.9, 56.8 in fact, in the middle 100. He split 25.0, 28.3, 28.5, and then finishing 30 flat. So he did tie up a little bit, but he had such a margin of lead, over a second at the 150 mark, that even a slightly faster closing Krzysztof Szemalowski was not enough to overtake him. Both of them swam PBs. Luca was a 151.8, just 0.3 back of Michael Phelps' American record. Krzysztof set another Polish record with 152.6. And Harrison Turner of Australia, who in every race I've seen him do, from the Australian Trials final to the heat to the semi, has been extremely fast on the first 150 and can't close. He's still tied up a lot at the end. His third 50 was 29.2 and his fourth 50 was 31.1. But he finally broke the 2009 Nick Darcy Australian record and hung on for the bronze medal. He only made this final 8th and then got the bronze. And it was great watching that with Kurt and Megs, who were astounded and ecstatic for the super happy Harrison Turner. He looked buzzing on the podium alongside them other 2 swimmers. We then went straight into the 50th breast final, another final, and A lot of talk coming into the meet was that the Italian Ludovico Viberti would not be swimming this event, even though he has the fastest time in the year. He still has the fastest time in the year, but it was another Italian, Simone Cerasulo, who won it, 26.54, just touching out Kirill Pagoda. They both led from start to finish. Brilliant pullouts, brilliant breakouts, and Chin Hyang couldn't quite move past them. He was third in 26.6. The whole race was very close. From first to eighth was 0.35 in it, 26.89 to 26.54. Great race, close race, exciting race. We then had the women's 200 butterfly, which, again, more from the second semi made it back, with Uzidi finishing actually fifth in her semi-final, but making it back eighth in 2:07.95. 2:08 did not make it. Elizabeth Deckers won the first semi and she'll be the fastest into the finals tomorrow. She has a really interesting technique. Some people noticed that Maxime Grousset on his first two butterfly strokes in the 50 fly only does one kick. Well, Elizabeth Deckers does it for the entire race. So obviously more efficient for her. She's not wasting energy on her second kick and she's holding speed really well. Summer McIntosh looked really cruisy. She finished in second. She won obviously her semi-final in 2:06.2. She'll be dropping a lot of time tomorrow night, I don't doubt. And Regan Smith backed up her 50 back semi-final with third in the 200 fly. That means Regan will be doing two finals tomorrow night with two chances of medals. We then moved into the men's 2IM semi-finals, which I've already talked about. The talk of the town, Léon Marchand. Let me just read out the time again. 1:52.69. Oh my God. Like, the first semi wasn't massively fast. And I think 1:57 won it. And then I was like, well, Shane Cassidy is going to go out fast. And he did, 23.8 to the 50. Had a small lead over Leon. Then Leon took 1.5 seconds off him on the backstroke, 28.4, and then didn't look back. The crazy thing is Shane Cassidy, a brilliant talent, a super fast swimmer, someone I believe could get close to that old world record of 1:54.00. He's swum a PB. This is like the first time Shane Cassidy has swum a PB in a major meet for a long time. It's a really great sign. He was 1:55.1 for a new PB. Really good on all the splits. 23.8, 29.8, 33.0, 28.3. I mean, a stunning swim. And still 2.4 seconds back from Leon. Duncan Scott was the only other 1:55. He was third. And then it went from 1:55.5 in third all the way to 1:57.1 in fourth. Carson Foster made it back with 1:57.4. Just 0.02 from Kazuki Makino, who misses out. And then we had the mixed 4x1 medley final. And obviously no America because they'd done a stupid team in the morning. And that meant out in lane one, they got through Russia, and then they just flew. Their first 200 was lightning. I thought we was going to see the world record in the first 100, even though it wouldn't have counted, because Miron Livenstev went the second fastest 100 backstroke of all time, 51.78. Again, mixed relay means it couldn't be a world record, and it won't officially count, but it did officially happen, so I'm going to count it, because why would I not? 24.6, 51.78, passed over to Kirill Pagoda, 57.56 on the breaststroke, well under world record split, and they had a solid back end, 55.9, 52.6, but it wasn't quite what America had when they set the world record last year because they had Gretchen Walsh and Tori Husk. So they ended up just off the world record, half second back, but it was a new championship record, beating the America's record from Budapest in 2017. And it was a very close from second to fifth on the finish. In fact, it was very close, from third to fifth on the finish. China was solidly second with Zhu Jiayu 53.2, 58.1 from Chin, Zhang Yufei 55.9, and Wu was 52.6. And then Canada, Netherlands, and Australia were separated by 0.12 for third, fourth, fifth. And it was just about Canada with Taylor Ruck holding off. But the biggest split that I've not talked about as of yet was Josh Liendo's 49.6 on the fly and Marit Steenbergen closed stupidly fast in 51.9 on the free. There you go. What a night of swimming. But it was Léon Marchand's night. And maybe he can give us something even more special tomorrow night. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Check out my website for merch and training programs. And as always, I'll see you tomorrow morning.